back to FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. I'm Flex, and today we're diving into a full top-down analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and gold. We're going to start from the higher time frames, work our way down to the lower time frames, and check to see if we find any good setups. Now remember, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Alright guys, currently it's 1:15 p.m. Eastern time, and the price of Bitcoin is at 118,900. So let's start off here with the weekly candle, and so far it's pretty much like yesterday. It's indecisive. We still have about 3 days and 7 hours before this candle closes. If it closes the way it is right now, is not too bad, but the 21 moving average is kind of far. It's at 97,833. The stochastics look to come up. Yesterday they kind of looked like they wanted to round out. We still have to wait the 3 days to see how this is going to end up looking. Now on the daily chart, we see that the stochastics are on the way down. I have a hunch though that we might be able to come back up and make another curve back up. Let's see what ends up happening. This topping tail that happened a couple days ago is not good. Now this candle right now looks a little bit lower than yesterday. It's kind of like a bullish hammer. We still do have about 6 hours and 45 minutes before this closes, so let's see what ends up happening. The 21 moving average is at 112,000, so it has been going up. I have a hunch that we do have a CME gap that probably needs to be filled at 114, so I'm thinking we might continue to go sideways until this 21 moving average catches up to like 114k around there, and then I can see us dropping down to the 21, and then from there continuing up and blasting out. I currently do have, as you can see here in this weekly pattern, a rising wedge that could break us out all the way to 155k. That's the most bullish scenario. And then I also have this flag here that would break us out to about 135k, and obviously we've already broken out from that flag. So those are the next two big moves that I'm seeing for Bitcoin, and as long as we could come back up on the stochastics here on the daily and also on the weekly, I could see that happening. Now if we head over to the 22-hour chart, we see that the stochastics are actually starting to get low, and we might be making a move back up soon. The 21 moving average is at 115,648 here, so if we're able to curve back up, then that gives me the confidence that at the daily maybe the stochastics don't go down and we curve back up just like we did here. So that's what I'm speculating at the moment. Now on the 10-hour chart, we are low on the stochastics. We were on the way up, but look, we're starting to lose it, and it looks like we're going to drop over here, maybe make a W pattern. We are above the 21 moving average. We kind of lost it here a little bit. That's currently at 118,400, so we've been fighting this right now. If we do drop over in the stochastics, I could see us falling down and holding support here at the 50 moving average, which is at 112,829. Now if we head over to the 4-hour chart, the stochastics yesterday were on the way up. We kind of curved down, and now we're back up. Now remember, yesterday I have two scenarios here. I have this flag that would break us out to 125. We already broke out to 123 and we came back into the flag, so it's technically a winning trade, but I feel like we could still make that full measured move. So the stochastics are low enough that we could probably make that move, but something else that I'm seeing is a possible head and shoulder pattern that could break us down to about 111,000, close to 110 around there. So as you can see, shoulder, head, and now this is kind of looking like a shoulder. We're trying to fight to stay above the 21 moving average. We need to do that, and we need to break above this head. If we don't break above this head, we could still come up here and still make a right shoulder here and come down. So that has me a little bit weary still. On the 1-hour chart, the stochastics are getting a little toppy. We've lost the 21, we're back up. The 200 moving average is at 117. We must stay above that. We lose that, it does open up the chances of us going to 115 and below. And on the 15-minute chart, this is kind of looking to me kind of like a head and shoulder pattern as well. That could bring us down. The stochastics do want to come up, but this also kind of looks like a inverted head and shoulder in a sense. Well, this was a double bottom. This could actually be a cup and handle here that could happen. So let's draw that out kind of like as a cup and handle, and let's see if this is the move that could possibly bring us back up towards that 125k mark. It's like a skinny cup and handle here that we have, and technically we're already breaking out of the cup and handle, and this will technically take us back up to 119,760. So I can see that happening. Let's see if that's a play that does play out, and maybe that's what helps us get up above the 21 moving average. This could also be a inverted head and shoulder. This is the shoulder, this is the head, and possibly we're making the shoulder here. That could also play out. That would pretty much give us around the same thing, maybe like 120 or something like that. Let's put that there just in case as well. So this will be a shoulder, complex head and shoulder. We already drew the head ahead there with the cup and handle, and right now this could be the shoulder as well at some point, and then this blasts us up, and this will pretty much take us to 119,965, almost 120. So I'll leave both of these options here. Sometimes when you have two patterns in confluence like that, it's actually pretty good. It's more likely to play out. So I'm seeing two things here. I'm gonna put this in the blue turquoise just in case. So we have the cup and handle, and we also have the inverted head and shoulder pattern. Let's see what ends up happening there. So overall, guys, I am still in the range of 110k between 125k. As long as we can stay above 115, I see 125 happening. If we lose 115, then I see 110 happening. All right, guys, let's head over to Ethereum. And Ethereum right now is at $3,409. When we start off with the weekly chart, we will see that finally this falling wedge here broke out. I had the measured move taking us to 3,433, and we actually made it all the way to 3,482. So congratulations on whoever took that trade. Also on the daily chart, I had a flag pattern that would have broken us out to 3,356. As you can see, we also made that pattern as well. On the 4-hour chart, I also had another flag that I left you guys with last week, taking us to 3,267. That also broke out. So 3 trades that won. Congratulations, we're definitely on a roll here. Now let's take a look at the analysis for Ethereum, and the stochastics are still toppy here. Kind of looks like we want to curve over. Maybe we could continue going sideways here. This does look like a cup and handle that already started breaking out. We are above the 200 and the 21 moving average. What we need to happen now is for this 21 moving average to cross the 200 moving average, and that's going to make us very bullish there. We head over to the daily chart. The daily chart, we finally broke above with strength above the 21 and the 200 moving average. So now the rally does look real. The stochastics are toppy. So what's concerning me is that at some point we're going to probably have to come down and test this 21 moving average. This one's currently at 2,747. Maybe we continue going sideways and then touch it somewhere above $3,000. But what's important is that we broke these averages, and that does make us bullish. It's finally happening. Maybe we're getting an altcoin season. Maybe it's still a little bit too early to tell. On the 4-hour chart, 21 moving average is at 3,175. We're kind of flagging sideways, but look, we're toppy. We're getting a bearish divergence here on the stochastic RSI. So it's possible that we could go sideways and then blast up, or we could come down, meet the 21 moving average, and then blast up. This is on the 1 hour, is kind of looking like a shoulder, a head. Could this break out from here, or we're gonna make another right shoulder? So right now we've made a gigantic move. We've made the 3 trade win on the Ethereum. I could see a pullback coming, especially with the stochastics being a little bit toppy. So I would say as long as we can stay above $3,000, we are bullish. If we break $3,000, then that brings us back down a little bit into bearish territory, and unless we could pop back up, then things could get bearish again. But right now I am bullish on Ethereum. Let's set up this little trade here on the 1 hour. This is kind of looking like a falling wedge here, flag type, and this could probably break us out. The stochastics are low enough for this to happen. This will give us the measured move about 3,500. So let's see how that works out. All right, heading on to the next coin now. Let's take a look at Cardano. And on Cardano, we're starting off with the weekly chart. I have this falling wedge taking us to about $1.52. Now we've broken out. Cardano has been lagging behind the other altcoins. Let's see, we are finally above the 21 moving average and the 200. We don't have that much strength, but we are breaking out. This is kind of looking like a double bottom here, and that double bottom will probably take us all the way up here, at least to like about $1.10, $1.15. The stochastics are still low enough that we could make that move. The RSI looks to point up, so this is something that could be happening soon. The daily chart, we're starting to get a little bit toppy. We finally did break above the 200 moving average, but we need to have more strength on Cardano in order to make this move more prevalent. So let's see what ends up happening with Cardano. I still have that scheduled to go to $1.52. It might take a little bit longer than the other altcoins. On the 4-hour chart, we're starting to get a little bit toppy here. I do have this currently in a flag on the 4-hour chart, which has already broken out. So again, you can already start taking profits, and this measured move takes us to about 89 cents, 90 cents. I also have a more conservative move taking us to 87 cents. So anywhere between 87 and 90 cents is the next target on the short term that I do see for Cardano, and we're currently breaking out. So let's see what ends up happening with that. Heading over now to XRP. XRP, we have here another winning trade. I had a falling wedge here that will break us out to $3.28. I made this falling wedge somewhere there in March, and we've been waiting this whole time, and finally we broke out. So congratulations, whoever got that whole measured move. We hit that exactly. I also had another measured move here on the daily chart, taking us to $2.72. We went well above that as well. So guys, again, congratulations for whoever took these trades. We waited a long time for these altcoins to get it popping, and we're finally there. Now, let's take a look at the analysis. We still have room here on the stochastic RSI, the weekly, to continue going up. We are getting a little bit far away from the 21 moving average, which is at $2.32, but we still have room here to continue going up. On the daily, we are getting toppy here. Maybe we could come down, come back up, stay above this dotted line a little bit, then come down. The 21 moving average just crossed the 200 moving average. That's bullish. The 21 moving average is at $2.48. So that will be our line of support if anything were to happen, if we were to come down. We are getting a little bit far away, so we have to be a little bit weary. XRP has made a gigantic move. We're at over $3. We're at $3.28. So we have to be happy with that. Expect some type of pullback. Maybe we can make it a little bit higher up, and then by at some point a pullback, I believe, will be coming. Now on the 4-hour chart, we are getting a little bit toppy as well. 21 moving average is at $2.99. So I could see us coming back down at some point before breaking out on XRP. So XRP right now, I could see us going a little bit higher, but I also feel like a pullback might be coming. Now, last but not least, we have gold. And on gold, you guys know I have this on a flag on the weekly chart here. Should break us out to about 3,775, 3,800 around there, maybe even 4,000, depending on how bullish we could get. Right now, we're a little bit bearish on gold. We've just been tracing the flag. Stochastics on the weekly still have to reset here, so we still need some time. On the daily chart, breaking out a little bit, but still not a big factor. We're trying to get above the 21 moving average. As you can see, a lot of wicks here on the daily. We haven't really been able to make a lot of strength. Stochastics are getting toppy. We're probably going to come down. I expect us to have some support here on this purple moving average, which is the 80 moving average at 3,275. On the 4-hour chart, still looks like we're going to reset, coming down. We lost the 21 and the 200 moving average. You guys know once that happens, you're gonna get a little bearish. This does kind of look like a double bottom. So I still see gold kind of ranging for right now, anywhere between 3,150 all the way back up to this wick here, which is at 3,000, let's say 500, until maybe mid-August, late August, and then I expect this to get some type of run up. So let's see what ends up happening with that. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe, and if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.